Hello, everybody. How are you guys? Happy Thursday evening. It is the time for my weekly live show. And sorry I'm late. My hair doesn't look quite right, but I think that's okay. I did go to the gym earlier, so it's a little bit different. Anyways, yes, welcome to my Thursday live shows on Thursday evening. I'm here with you every Thursday evening to talk about topics top of mind when it comes to supporting autoimmune. You know, I'm going to be talking about different areas that are really critical to support in your health on those Thursday live show evenings. And today I'm going to be talking about supplementation. So before I do that, I'm just going to hop on to my Facebook group so I see who's live. Whoever is showing up live, I'm really happy that you're popping in and watching the Thursday live shows. Let me know who's here and give me a wave, say hello. And I always like to interact with you guys. And if you have any questions, please do ask them and I can answer them live. Let me just fix my hair because it just doesn't feel right now. Okay, that's better. All right, so supplementation. All right, so by now you all know that I am not a big fan of um, relying heavily on supplementation. I talk about it a lot. It's just something that supplementation is, in a way, it's a crutch in order to, well, or I should say it's not a crutch, it's a bridge in order to help your body to achieve balance. So the notion in holistic nutrition and a whole foods approach is always to create balance within, to create balance in your system so that your body systematically long term can support yourself by itself. You want to create that strong, solid health on all levels that allows your body just by absorbing the nutrients and nutraceuticals, therapeutic foods that are giving yourself to, kind of like stay in that homeostasis. So look at your health as being something like a teeter-totter. And it's never stagnant. It never stays the same. It always goes up and down, a little bit. So there's times when it's more stable and there's times where it's more imbalanced. And during those times when there's imbalance happening in your body, it's always helpful to have supplementation to kind of like guide you through this imbalance so that you can, swing back into balance, into the homeostasis. Hello, everybody who's watching. Let me know who's here. I like to hear from you guys. Say hello in the comments. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to be talking about and showing you my 5 go-to supplements today for autoimmune support. But like I said, I'm not a supplement pusher. You know that by now. I do embrace the holistic approach of nutrition as medicine. But like I said, it can be very, very helpful during certain times. And to be quite honest, having chronic inflammation, going through different cycles in your life, different seasons in your life, it's just a given that sometimes we are feeling more symptomatic than other times. And during those times, supplementation can be very, very effective. So I actually pulled out my supplement cabinet for you guys today to show you what I use regularly, either rotating or on a daily basis. And I was just going to show you my 5 go-to supplements for my own autoimmune support, and also something that I consistently suggest to my clients that I work with. So let's get right into it and get started here. Let me see the comments. Yay, I get a wave. That's nice. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? It's nice to see you. All right, let's get started. So number one is, and that is for everybody, regardless of where you are in this world, that is one of the most critical supplements you can ever take for your health, which is vitamin D, vitamin D3. So let's talk a little bit about vitamin D. So vitamin D is actually a vitamin that you can't really get from food as much. You can in small amounts, but vitamin D is truly something. It's not a vitamin per se. It acts more like a hormone in your body than a vitamin. Vitamin D is more like a hormone, which means it's a messenger, right? Hormones are messengers in your body that relay messages to different organs or different cells to do certain tasks. Those messengers are really important for your cells to do what they need to do. Vitamin D has also been shown in so many studies. I mean, vitamin D is one of the vitamins that have been heavily researched, and it's just a critical component of your immune support, your immune system in your body. So without vitamin D, your body can't function, like your immune system can't function properly. Having said that, like I said before, vitamin D is very difficult to obtain from foods. Vitamin D is created in your body by absorbing sunlight. So when you absorb sunlight, it hits your skin, but then the 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 process is that the system goes through, so the sunlight hits your skin, and then certain processes are being put in place to create vitamin 3, but it has to go through your kidneys, and there's certain pathways that have to happen in order for your body to then create vitamin D. And there are a lot of steps involved, and if at any point you are imbalanced in this pathway, then you might not be creating as much vitamin D as your body needs in order to support your immune system. So, for me personally, I can tell you that I'm a person who has difficulty producing its own vitamin D3. So I have to go really, really high on the vitamin 3 supplementation in order to get to optimal levels. Um, and by the way, vitamin 3 it doesn't matter if you are in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere. If you're not exposing your skin to sunlight at least 30 minutes a day without sunscreen for this process to kickstart and to happen in your body, you're probably not getting enough vitamin D. So there's a lot of studies that, of course, for us in the northern hemisphere, specifically Canada, like we get very little sunlight in the wintertime, and we need to rely on supplementation. But it also has been shown that people who actually live in California also most of them are very low in vitamin D. So get your vitamin D levels checked and take the vitamin D up to amounts that is needed in order to get your levels to a place where they need to be. And know that vitamin D is being stored in your system so you can actually create really good levels and then rely on those levels. So then you can go down a little bit in your supplementation as well. Okay, so I can't give you any sort of dosages here because it's different for everybody. So I'm not going to go into dosages for any of this at all because it's very, very specific. Okay. All right, so that is vitamin D. Another one with a vitamin D, just to give you an option, is so I take the vitamin D. My husband actually takes the vitamin A and D. Okay, so because vitamin A also is super important for your immune system, it's one of the critical vitamins that you need to support your immune system, specifically the white blood cells or the white blood cells. But it also is good for eye health, right? And so my husband has a little bit of weaker eyes, so he is always cranking up on his vitamin A. And know that vitamin A and vitamin D are both fat soluble vitamins. So fat-soluble vitamins means that if you consume your vitamin D and your vitamin A in combination with a healthy fat source, you just double the absorption of it. So you'll increase the absorption of the vitamin D a lot, right? So keep that in mind. Okay, so if there's no questions, I'm just going to continue. So as you know, also is what I always talk about in my videos, in my practice. What is really, really important is that in order for you to get a really good grip on managing your autoimmune, it's not just the nutrients, it's not just the food that you need to consume, that like the quality food and the variety and diversity of different foods, specific foods. What is even more critical is really that you dial in your digestive system, because I always hone in on that is if your digestive system is suboptimal, you can eat all the foods in the world, the healthiest foods in the world. You are not getting what your body needs if your digestive system is not able to, number one, break down the food properly, number two, absorb the food properly, and number three, assimilate the food properly. So the go-to for me is always circles around digestive support. So when you know that you are either in a flare up, when you know that you are under a lot of stress, right? Stress slowing down your digestive system so much, then it might not be a bad idea to supplement and to help your digestive system to do its work better, to kind of like alleviate the burden on your digestive system by taking certain supplementation. So my go-to is always, and I know that you guys in here, I know that a lot of you guys take digestive enzymes, which is great. So I have those on the list as well. However, my go-to, to tell you the truth, quite honestly, is bitters. Okay, so what I'm using here is Canadian bitters. So I'm using Canadian bitters because, of course, it's a Canadian Saint Francis. It's sourced from Canada, which is great because it's in my own country. But there's also bitters that are produced in the States, so locally. So this might be a better option for you instead of having the Canadian bitters shipped to you. Why do I take bitters rather than digestive enzymes? So what I found is that number one, I found that tincture. So that's a tincture. Tinctures are much better absorbed by our bodies than synthetic pills. Especially if you have digestive issues, especially if your digestion is not optimal yet. Tinctures are very, very well absorbed by your body. The other thing is that those tinctures are all, that supplement is all herbs. So it's all natural components. So those are all digestive herbs that have been shown in research and in studies to really spark your digestion and support your digestive juices. So I can't read it right now, what's in here. It's so small, but there's certain herbs that have the capacity to spark digestion a little bit more, to kind of like get your digestive juices flowing. And there's no synthetic stuff in here. It's all natural herbal botanicals that can really help your digestion. So let's say, even if what I like to say is when you go out to dinner, let's say, and you're eating, or when you're invited to friends' places, or if you're invited to parties and you don't really know the food that you're consuming, it's not a bad idea to take just a little bit, like, it's like one meal, like the whole 1 meal thing, and just you spritz it into your mouth before the meal to just help your digestive system to break down the proteins better. I do have, yeah, I do have the enzymes sometimes. So the super enzymes. Um, that is really something that is a little bit more aggressive in terms of digestive support. So if you find that you have a really, really hard time digesting your food, this might be something you can take temporarily to to just deliver the enzymes that your pancreas might not be, if your pancreas is sluggish, might not be able to produce on its own. But it is a little harsher, and it is powerful, and it's synthetic as well. So there are fillers in there typically. So I always like to go with the herbs and the botanicals and the tinctures because it's pure, and it might be a little bit easier for your system to use. So this is my number two, the digestive bitters. So at the same time, again, around the digestive support, my number three go-to is hydrochloric acid. Okay, so hydrochloric acid. So this is basically stomach acid that that you are ingesting, that you're giving to your body. So oftentimes what I see is that are with chronic inflammation or with autoimmune disease is that oftentimes our metabolism is lower, as well as our the production of our stomach acid is not on par with a healthy person. And the hydrochloric acid plays such a critical role in your system. I actually have a full video on hydrochloric acid, stomach acid under the guide. So if you want to check that out, you can. But it's super, super important to dial in your stomach acid, because your stomach acid is needed in order to break down the proteins, to chop them up into the building blocks that are then being absorbed to create muscles, to create cells, to create immune system and hormones even, and all of that. So hydrochloric acid is a good way of helping your stomach to digest the proteins, and to give you that extra boost in case you are low on stomach acid. But be mindful around it, because if you have a sensitive stomach, and if you have ulcers, I want to say that if you have ulcers, or if you have any sort of overreactive stomach, then stay away from it. This is not going to be helping you. But yeah, just to let you know, in the beginning, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, when I started really, really working hard on my autoimmune, I was on 10 hydrochloric acid pills at a time for months. And then I noticed that my stomach, as I was working on my other digestive issues, my gut health, and all of it combined, I noticed that my stomach was starting to kick in more. So that was able to reduce it slowly. And by the end of it, I was only taking one. And now I don't take any unless I do go through stressful times and I notice more bloating, and I notice, the feeling of fullness and heaviness in my stomach area, then I know that my stomach acid is starting to get a little low, and I'm starting to take it a little bit more again. Just so you know, it's not something you have to be on for the rest of your life, but it's always good to have at hand for those times to help you through it. So one of my clients, for example, she started on 4 hydrochloric acid pills. And just last week, we had a call, and she told me that after, I think it was 8 weeks of working together, she started to actually said, you know what, I'm getting that warm, a little bit of burning sensation now. So she is actually able to scale down her hydrochloric acid now to 2, and to help her break down the proteins, which it's great, right? It shows us that her stomach is starting to kick in a little bit more. So that's number 3, hydrochloric acid. Number 4 that I was going to show you is omega-3 acids. Okay, so oil, fish oil. It's unfortunately sometimes, it's even though you can get the essential fatty acids through food. Um, Again, if we are going through flares, if we're going through, or if you are just starting out, and if you're starting to repair and restore and heal your gut, um, it is critical to get those omega 3s in, because those omega 3s are super anti-inflammatory in your system. It not only nourishes, like it's not only anti-inflammatory, it also nourishes your nervous system. It helps your endocrine system, and it just brings down inflammation. And for sure, you can get that through fish if you eat fish on a regular basis, but we really don't eat enough of seafood, I have to say. And like I said, in the beginning, you can be so depleted in those omega 3s that you just need to take them on a regular basis. Um, so there's two types I wanted to show you. Is Actually, I was going to show you the cod liver oil. Okay, so the cod liver oil I like to take because of the fact that it's amazingly high in vitamin A. So the cod liver oil is not only has it the crazy anti-inflammatory properties that are really, really great for bringing down inflammation. It also has the vitamin A, which is super critical in building your immune system. And like I said before, vitamin A is a fat soluble vitamin. And so, it's like you get two parts of, that you need to include in your health in one supplementation. So you get the vitamin A in the cod liver oil, in the fish oil, which makes the vitamin A being absorbed so much better. So cod liver oil is amazing. If you are a vegetarian or vegan, so for example, my daughter, she is 12 and she has decided that she wants to become a vegetarian. So for her, of course, I can't give her the fish oil anymore. And so I swapped her to plant-based omega 3s. Okay, so you can also get plant-based omega 3s, and that's an oil, right? And she takes like a teaspoon of it a day. And there's like sources like flax seeds in there, and different types of plant-based omegas, which are also great, which you can use. But just know that your body has a harder time utilizing those types of fats. So fish oil is very easily absorbed by your body. The plant-based oil, not as much. So you might have to take a little bit more of it. But regardless, the point here is that fatty acids, fish oil, the omega 3s, are crucial for anti-inflammatory properties. So that's my number 4. Okay, so we have the vitamin D, we have the digestive Canadian bitters enzymes, hydrochloric acid, and then the omega 3s. And my last go-to that I always suggest and love, love, love is it's the green stuff. So again, I have some options here. I'm gonna show you. So okay, so I'm gonna show you first. So this is I love the chlorophyll. Okay, so chlorophyll apple flavor. I like that. It's great. Um, so this is chlorophyll from alfalfa. Okay, so the chlorophyll is amazing. So this is basically, it's a liquid, and you put it in your water, right? So for example, I can show you. I have my water here, and I kind of like just put a little bit of the chlorophyll in my water, and I toss it around, and it turns it green, and that's what I drink. And it tastes great. Now, the benefit of the chlorophyll is it really brings oxygen into your system. It has the ability to help your cells, get the extra oxygen that they need in order to perform better. So it helps you with energy increase, it helps your cells to work better on a regular basis. The green stuff is so powerful, like the green color in the plants is it's just it not only has like the oxygen that the plant absorbs from its environment that it's basically now being delivered into your system. It also has the deep color of the green in itself is a chemical that is super protective for inflammation. So it helps to also support your immune system. Having said that, there's also spirulina, right? So again, spirulina. So again, this are actually supplements, but they are food-based supplements, right? So they're not synthetic pills that we're talking about. They're plant or food-based supplementation. So this spirulina is basically powdered spirulina. And again, same thing, right? Blue-green algae powder. So it's the chlorophyll in the plant and the chemicals, in the deep green color that is just so good for your immune system. And another option that I was going to show you is this is a little bit different. This is wheatgrass tablets. So those are wheatgrass tablets, basically pressed wheatgrass, right? They come in like little pebbles, and you can swallow it. So I have to tell you, whenever I feel when I'm very much in tune with my body now, and when I feel that my body is starting to become sluggish, when I start to get the brain fog, when I start to feel okay, so something is going out of balance, and honestly, hands down, it's mostly stress that pivots me into that direction. I always gravitate towards migraine supplementation because I know it's just so helpful for me, for my cells to get that great oxygen in it in order for them to perform better. So those are my 5 go-tos. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope this was helpful. So, but again, I just want to bring it back to don't rely on those supplementations. Do the work. Do the work, do the gut work, do your adrenal work, do your liver work, do your detox work. Do all of that because just by working on those systems and really dialing in your nutrition and dialing in your body functions to have them work properly for you will help you long term to get into that homeostasis, so the balance of it all. And then you have the supplementation as like a little bit of the bells and whistles here and there when you need that extra support during certain periods in your life. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. And yes, I will see you again very soon. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the evening.